Will's Point, and we're off, man.
Awesome.
Appreciate your patience. Yeah.
Catch back. Do you have an iPhone by chance?
I do.
Can I try to write down for a few?
Hell yeah.
Appreciate that. Let's see here. This one
Yep,
here?
that is it. What do you mean you couldn't find it with all my 9 other charging cords down there at the bottom? I always laugh at that. Fuck, I got lots of shit. So now we're going to Will's Point.
The car edition.
60 miles.
Keep a good conversation.
Do what?
I'll tell some cool things.
Oh, yeah. Make sure.
Yeah. Is that a GoPro?
Yeah. Well, it's not a GoPro,
Yeah.
but it is a action camera.
Good.
So it does its thing. And it's funny because I gave it to my grandson to take to the water park.
Oh yeah?
You know, inside the case.
Yes.
And I said, I'm going to give you this wrist strap. That way you don't use it. He's like, okay. Fucking, he left it on the wrist strap and we'll turn it on, and he just left it hanging on the wrist strap running around. I'm like, no, that's not what I wanted.
No.
I just wanted to see what it looked like, you know?
That's funny.
So, but it's all good. It's all good. This fucking parking lot is weird.
Yeah, touche.
There was lots of folks walking around last night. Lots and lots of folks walking around.
At the show?
No, here when we got home at when we got back at like midnight.
Man.
Yeah.
I got in at 3 in the morning. Okay. My flight left at 6. That means I had to get there at 5.
Right.
I live in a small airport, so security wasn't bad.
Right.
Today was probably the busiest I've ever seen it. But you know, I'm running on about 2 hours of sleep. About 15 on the plane. This older lady just kept on talking to me, which I didn't mind. I didn't mind talking to her.
Yeah.
She talked my damn head off. So I love it. I was like, give me a little breather, lady.
Yep, it's
I treat people how they treat me, and she treated me nicely. So you know, obviously, I want her to return the favor. She looked like she was having a good time flying. So
right. So with all the stuff that you do with the wrestling and the cheerleading and all that other stuff, and what was the pandemic like up there
in Tennessee?
Yeah.
At first it was, unprecedented. No one could understand what was going to go on at any given moment.
Right.
So, once we kind of figured out, for myself, it was kind of, I just started my wrestling career in February and, January, 2 months prior to the 2020 pandemic of March starting. So I kind of got in a weird situation where I was booked for months and months, and shows just canceled left and right. I worked on March 13th, 2020. I was working for AML in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And I was booked up 4 months in advance. Once my dad announced that his son was wrestling, I had so many bookings all over the place. Then, that same night, I got so many emails saying we're going to have to postpone the show. And so it was a crazy time, but now, I'm trying to soak it all in. I'm enjoying what I should have enjoyed then, not enjoying it now.
Right. Yeah, because that was probably the craziest thing when everything just shut down. Just like, even, living in Austin, it just, to be able to go out on a regular day and the traffic was like you see it now, that's not Austin. 7 days a week, it's stop and go, it's trash, horrible. And to be able to drive around, because a lot of people were stuck inside on the pandemic. My work made us work. We worked all the way through. We never took any time off.
Really?
Yeah. And we actually still went into people's houses during the pandemic. And everyone's like, well, I was worried the first maybe month or so. Then after that, I was like, what can we really do anyways? So we wore masks and gloves and hand sanitizer and soap and,
Same here.
do whatever we could do.
Same
I got it in October of last year.
Oh man.
I still can't smell. I was in bed for 3 weeks.
Really?
It was the worst thing I'd ever felt in my life. I went to the emergency room twice.
Did you really?
I'm like, dude, something has got to give. He's like, nah, you got COVID. You'll be all right. I'm like, okay. And then I went home and came back the very next day. Like, no, something has to happen. He goes, no, you have COVID. We'll give you an IV. Go home. You'll be fine. Okay. It was horrible, man.
Oh wow.
So bad.
So it really hits you hard.
But you know, and my grandson who lives with me, he tested positive when I did.
Yeah.
He sat in his room for 10 days playing video games.
Yeah.
You know, he didn't. It's like
That's it.
he didn't even get a runny nose or anything. He's like, whatever.
And the 4th day is like I started. I know I didn't feel like myself for about a month and a half. Recovery from COVID. I just didn't feel like myself. Like I didn't have energy, and I'm an active guy. I'm an NCAA athlete.
Right.
I was wrestling, you know, and kind of took off. I canceled out my bookings during that time. I canceled out for the next like 3 weeks just to recover. But I felt great, you know. On the 4th or 5th day, I was running. I like running. So I enjoy it. I do a lot of cardio and running.
Then you and I wouldn't get along.
Oh yeah.
Even when I was in the military, they're like, "Oh, we're gonna run every day." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna hate this every day." But it's funny, you know, even if you don't like running because you're a runner, you know, like by the end of the 8 weeks at basic, I could run 2.5 miles in full battle gear. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
And I could do the 2.5 miles without stopping. When I first got there, you know, I was on the verge of passing out. You know, just running around the block, and oh my god!
Yeah.
And then you know, so yeah, because I would like to try